Hello and welcome to Your Questions Answered with Father Gruner. I'm John Veneri. In this program, we take the questions that you send us and Father Gruner answers, and we talk about them. And continue to send us these questions, please, at questions@thefatimacenter.com. We have a question today about godparents, and I think it's an important question. My wife and I were raised in practicing the Roman Catholic faith. We are recent first-time parents to our son, congratulations, and planning to have him baptized within the Roman Catholic Church in our hometown. We're having a difficult time deciding who should be the godparents. I am not fully aware of the criteria under the Catholic faith and was hoping for some guidance. My brother and his wife are baptized at the Dutch Christian Reformed faith, that's Protestant. Another potential choice is someone baptized in the United Church of Canada. That, of course, is Protestant as well. Does the Roman Catholic Church allow godparents to be representatives from outside the Roman Catholic faith? And are there issues, examining?
Are there other issues?
Other issues, with deciding godparents. So
okay.
That's...
Well, first of all, I'm sure you know the answer, John, but we'll certainly talk about it. The first thing is a godparent. Why do we have godparents in the first place? And why does the church have godparents? It's because it's not enough for a person just to say, yes, I'll have my child baptized. You are taking a commitment on that you're going to raise that child as Catholic. And that's what and so should it happen?
Yes, if something should happen to the parents,
yes,
the godparents have to raise them Catholic.
And something could happen, such as they have an accident or they have a premature death or whatever that is. But the other thing that can happen is the fact that they could lose the faith themselves. So if they did such a thing, the godparent has the obligation still to bring the person up Catholic. And to
do what he can.
To do what he can.
Yeah.
And it's not always easy. And so it's not really, it's considered an honor, and no doubt it may be an honor, but it's really not primarily an honor. It's really an obligation.
And the people who do it have to be qualified for it, qualified, quote unquote. But
well, certainly qualified, meaning that they have to be Catholic. I mean, how are they going to possibly take on the duty of raising the child Catholic if they themselves aren't Catholic?
And according to what Catholic moral theology always talk, they have to be Catholics in good standing.
Well, they obviously, if they're living as public sinners, they can't be.
If they're divorced or remarried or something like that.
Yes, they can't be considered they have to be Catholic first of all, so that they can raise them in the Catholic faith. And secondly, they have to be good Catholics, so that they would be a good example to the child, or it could be an adult for that matter, but a good example to the person being baptized.
Yes, I mean some of the modern rules are, even unofficially, you could probably find a priest who would do anything you want regarding godparents. But
I hope not. But anyway,
they're out there. Believe me. I mean, we know. But the rules of the faith and also the rules of our Lord is that. I mean, I know one family who has 3 children, and knowing that the purpose of the godparents is to raise the children Catholic. It's the same godparents for all 3 children.
Yeah.
So God forbid if something happened to the parents, the family's not broken up in any way.
Yeah.
And so the godparent it's a very important function and office, I should say. And also the downside is in our culture, we tend to, there's a lot of, Bill and Jane were best man and maid of honor. So when our first baby comes along, then Sam and Betty will be the godparents. And they kind of think along those lines, rather than what really the office of godparent is.
Yeah. So in answer to the question is...
and I will say too, that I hardly hear this taught anywhere anymore. I mean, I'm...
Well, so the poor people, that they've been raised as practicing Catholics, but surely they're parish priests, certainly they're catechism class, surely they're anything they should have learned this by now. This is not to blame anybody, but it's obvious that this is not being passed on.
No, and this is pretty fundamental.
Yeah,
it's quite fundamental. So, and this is no reflection on the people who asked the question.
Sure, well, I'm glad they're asking. So we
because, like Cardinal Burke said, in an interview he had recently, he said that the people have not been taught the faith.
No.
They have not been taught the faith for decades now. Not been taught the faith.
Well, in fact, part of that's the seminary training themselves, that they have the poor priests haven't been taught the faith either.
Yes.
So. I mean, I would say the first thing for this, among other things, is pray for the clergy, pray for the Catholic priests, and so as Saint Teresa of Avila says, to pray for a good confessor. Is 1 in 10,000. She says is good. Mm-hmm. So pray for a good confessor, but secondly, pray for good priests and good teachers of the faith, so that people would not be left so without leaders. I mean, it's really it's.
Yeah,
But in turn, they should answer this. So it's a good Catholic, and who's a Catholic who's practicing the faith themselves. Not have to be saints, but they should be practicing the faith, and and be practicing the faith.
Yeah,
so
that's
they're good examples.
That's the final question we're asking. Are there other issues we should examine when deciding godparents? This is actually the primary issue.
Yeah.
Is good practicing Catholics who, God forbid, if something should happen to the parents, these people will take the faith seriously, be good examples, and do everything they can to raise their children in the faith.
Yes.
So anyway, that's all for this program, and we will see you on the next broadcast. Thanks for joining us, and we'll see you next time.